Greetings to you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Wherever you are, we bless the Lord for this opportunity that we have. We will forevermore be grateful to Him. He is wonderful. And the beautiful thing about this, it is always new to us. His mercies, are always new. Even when you thought you knew them and you hear about them again, you are renewed. This is the divine touch. This is the divine touch of the scriptures, of the gospel. There is nothing that you can get used to. By the time you hear it, it is renewed in your system, renewed in your mind. It's like for the first time, you are hearing it for the first time, or you want to hear it more and more. Why? Because of the work it does in you. And this is who God is. He's always amazing, always amazing. For example, have you ever gotten tired of being loved? You cannot. You like it, you enjoy it. Or the kindness of people do good to you. Have you ever gotten to a place where you say, I'm tired of people who care for me, who care about me, or the people who are kind to me, who are doing good to me, who are helping me, who are supporting me. I'm tired of you. Have you ever come to that place? Of course no. Why? Because it is always touching. It is always a blessing. If people are kind to you, if people are supporting you, if people remember you, whatever good act that is done for you, you were touched. This is exactly then how it works, that God is too good and so kind. So He keeps on doing good to us. And we experience that beauty on the daily basis. And consistently we feel like this is always new. It's like it's a new thing. If somebody tells you what they think about you, for instance, and they tell you some positive things about you, what they know about you and what they appreciate on your side, you will be shocked. You feel like, wow, isn't it? So imagine if God keeps on revealing to you what He knows about you, what He thinks of you. That is why we keep on listening to it, and we want to hear even more such kind of message. We bless the Lord then, because He's too good and He's so wonderful. Now I pray for you that yes, you receive with all your heart the understanding, you receive with all your heart the knowledge, you receive with all your heart the comprehension. I pray that you grow in the understanding, you grow in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. You experience this kindness and goodness that has given us or offered toward us. In Jesus' mighty name. In Jesus' mighty name. He is the high priest, always with people. That is why He told us that He had to become one with us to offer the divine services, for an effective or proper propitiation for the sins of the people. He was among us, and He had to understand us, had to experience what men were experiencing. And so He understood. That was part of the high priest, the priest. The priest had to live among people and understand them. Now, in Hebrews chapter 2, verse 18, the next verse says, "For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted, He is able to secure them that are tempted." See? For in that He Himself hath suffered being tempted. Do you know that Jesus was also tempted? Apart from what we read in Matthew chapter 4 or in Mark chapter 1 verse 13, we study how Jesus was tempted when he was led into the wilderness, and he was tempted from there. So that is the only temptation we think that Jesus had. But he had temptations. Remember, I had become one with man. So he was human as well. So he was tempted. The Bible tells us he was tempted in all ways. He was tempted. See, Jesus was tempted. So he understands all the temptations. You see, some people say, you see, Jesus was Jesus. You know, for us, we are here. We are so weak. We are human. You know, it's like God should understand. Well, I'm telling you, Jesus understands because he was human. That put on the flesh. You know, this is the greatest mystery that God put on the flesh. When God put on the flesh, the God became one with us. Emmanuel, God among men. See, that means he understands all kinds of temptations because he was not spared. Whatever tempted man tempted him. Wasn't he betrayed? In the story of Jesus, if we are to see it, we are to look at it on the other side. Wasn't he betrayed? Wasn't he hungry? Wasn't he attacked by the Pharisees? Do you remember many times when the Pharisees asked a question or any question, but the purpose was to trap him? Many times they would accuse him of many things, different things which were not true. They used to call him the wine bibber. Jesus was called different kinds of names. The son of a woman. They used to call him different names, like they do to you. See, it's nothing new. Jesus went through all the temptations, all the experiences of men. There are people who wanted to humiliate him. People try to humiliate Jesus. They used to ask him hard questions to humiliate him. There are people he was betrayed by his friend, his disciple. This is Judas. From time to time he was annoyed, but if he was to be annoyed, there were disciples around him to make him annoyed. He was always among men. Imagine, he healed people and the children of those people, but yet at the end of the day they were saying, let him be crucified. Can you imagine, serving people and doing good to them, and then they say you should be crucified, that you said in the temple that you can destroy the temple, that very temple of the Jews, and then build it in 3 days, and they confirmed that he was talking about the temple of the Jews. Yet, of course, he wasn't talking about it. He was talking about his body according to the Bible. John chapter 2. He did a lot of things. He was tempted. I mean, if you are to see that side, Jesus was always tempted by other men, by different circumstances, situations. So he understands what men go through. He understands that part is very crucial, because we don't have a God who does not understand us. Remember, a high priest was supposed to live among men, understand what men go through, understand what is going on. So Jesus is different in that he understands what we go through. So the Bible told us that for in that he himself hath suffered being tempted. So that's the point. He suffered being tempted. So Jesus was tempted. So you should not think it's a unique thing that happens to people and it never happened to Jesus. I heard of that. And people still think that, oh, Jesus is Jesus. No, I'm telling you, no. Jesus was human and he was tempted. But he managed to overcome for a purpose as well. And now, I like the second part because it says, he is able to succor them that are tempted. So you see, the reason why he's talking about Jesus being tempted, he's not saying, you see, you have to be tempted like Jesus was tempted. No, that is not the purpose. We're already tempted in this world. There are many temptations around us. So that is not the purpose. The purpose is to bring in the idea of his help, of his support, of his help. And the reason why we are told this, it is to assure us of victory. They are actually telling us that Jesus was tempted and he never failed, even once. Therefore, the one who won, who overcame, who never failed even once, is he capable of supporting you, helping you throughout? Yes, he is capable. He's able to do it. So he can and he is able to support you. Why? Because he understands every point that men suffered, every point of temptation. Jesus went through it. I'm telling you. Because he was also human on the other side. So he's actually saying that Jesus will help us to overcome like he overcame. But then how does he help us? Is by believing in his victory, seeing ourselves in him. All right, we'll see that later. But that is actually the point. It's like if he overcame, we'll overcome. You see, this is different from the law. The law demanded man to try and be holy. The law demanded man to overcome by himself. The law stood there and wanted man to overcome by himself. But you know what? Jesus is not standing there demanding you to overcome. Jesus is saying, I am your strength. I am your support. I understand. I went through all this. I can help you go through it in victory. I know how I did it. I want to teach you how you do it. I want to show you the way out. I want to be with you through all circumstances. I don't want you to feel like you are alone and somebody's watching over you to fail or waiting for you to fail so that you may be punished. No, he understands. I want you to pick that. At least that one, he understands. He understands everything you go through. Even when you fail, he understands. But then he doesn't want you to continue to fail. He wants to help. He wants to help. He wants to help. Can you let him help you? Can you allow him to help you? Don't suffer alone as if Jesus Christ is not there. Let him help you. This is what he's saying. He's capable. He's able. So the reason why he went through all this was to anticipate the people of God that will come later and get to know that Jesus went through this. Then they will rely on him. They can lean on his support. They can lean on his help. They also have to believe that he understands. That's very important.